Why do good people suffer? Why do bad things happen to good people? How much more pain can one person take? And most importantly, why did it happen to me? All of these questions have one answer. However, we don't get to know the complete answer until the very end. So let's talk about this man who was tested by fate. It all started when he was young. He grew up in an average family in a city. He lived a normal life, working a normal job, having fun with his friends. But one day his father fell severely ill and had to be hospitalized. When the doctors ran tests, they learned that his heart wasn't functioning properly, and the only way he could live was by getting a heart transplant. They told the family that without a new heart, he would be dead within 3 months. The family didn't have any money, so the son decided to sell his car and donate his kidney to his father. Although the surgery went well, the doctors said that he wouldn't make it. After 21 days, they took him off the machines and pronounced him dead. His family mourned him, not knowing that he was actually still alive. You see, after the surgery, someone else received his heart. That someone was the son's boss. He transferred the entire amount from the insurance policy to the boss's bank account so that he could take care of his father's medical bills. The boss felt guilty when he heard about what happened to the son, so he gave him a job in his company and paid him really well. He also made sure that he paid for his father's medical bills. He helped the boy's mother pay off their house's mortgage, and he even offered her the position of manager at the company's new branch. He became like a father to the boy, treating him with respect and love. He knew how grateful the family was for his help, and he was glad to be able to repay them. He thought that he had finally found a good use for the money he earned by exploiting others. But as time passed, something inside him began to change. He had nightmares about his former life. He saw the faces of the people he exploited. He heard their cries of pain. He tried to tell his boss about it, but he didn't listen. He just thought that he was overworked and needed a vacation. But the dreams kept coming back, and he couldn't stop thinking about them. He couldn't sleep, eat, or concentrate on his work. He became depressed and anxious. He hated himself for what he had done. He wished he could go back in time and change everything. He wanted to start over, to become a new person, but he didn't know how. One night, he was driving home when he saw a homeless man standing by the side of the road. He stopped his car and gave him some money. The homeless man looked at him and said, "Thank you for your generosity, sir. May God bless you." The man was startled by the homeless man's words. He didn't expect him to say that. He thought that he would ask for more money or food or maybe a ride. Instead, the homeless man prayed for him. This made him realize that he wasn't alone. There were other people in the world who understood him, who knew his pain. He wasn't crazy. He wasn't overreacting. He wasn't imagining things. He was being tested. He was being watched. He was being judged. From that moment on, he made it his mission to help everyone around him. He donated money to charities. He volunteered at soup kitchens. He visited hospitals. He gave gifts to strangers. He did everything he could to make up for what he had done in the past. People admired him, respected him, and loved him. He was happy. He felt that he was finally doing something right. However, little did he know that he was still being tested. One day, the police showed up at his house and arrested him. They accused him of embezzling money from his company. He was shocked. He couldn't believe that they suspected him. He knew that he hadn't done anything wrong. He tried to explain it to them, but they didn't listen. They took him to jail and threw him into a cell with other criminals. He was scared. He didn't know what to do. He cried out for help, but no one came. The next morning, the boss came to visit him and told him that he had no choice but to fire him because of the accusations against him. He was heartbroken. He couldn't believe that his boss would treat him like this. He had worked so hard to earn his trust, and now it was all gone. He felt betrayed. He felt abandoned. He felt hopeless. At that moment, he realized that he had been through this before. He had been betrayed before. He had been abandoned before. He had been hopeless before. He remembered what his father had told him when he was young. He said, "My son, life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Sometimes you get the good ones, sometimes you get the bad ones. But you gotta keep trying. You gotta keep believing. Don't ever give up." He knew that his father was right. He had to keep trying. He had to keep believing. He had to keep going. So he decided to prove his innocence. He hired a lawyer and gathered evidence. He contacted witnesses. He confronted the real culprit and exposed his scheme. In the end, he won the case and cleared his name. He was vindicated. He was praised. He was celebrated. He was free. But he didn't feel free. He didn't feel happy. He didn't feel at peace. He went back home and looked at his reflection in the mirror. He saw a stranger staring back at him. He didn't recognize himself. He didn't know who he was anymore. He had lost his identity. He had lost his soul. He had lost his purpose. Then suddenly, he heard a knock at the door. He opened it and saw a group of people standing there. They were from the church. They invited him to join them for a prayer meeting. He accepted their invitation and went with them. As soon as he stepped inside, he felt a sense of warmth and comfort. He saw people praying and singing. He joined them and felt a sense of hope and faith. He knew that he had found the right place. He knew that he had found the right people. He knew that he had found the right God. He began attending the prayer meetings regularly. He listened to the pastor's sermons and followed their teachings. He learned about forgiveness, compassion, and love. He realized that he had been judging himself too harshly. He realized that he had been blaming himself too much. He realized that he had been punishing himself too long. He forgave himself. He accepted himself. He loved himself. He knew that he wasn't perfect, but he knew that he was trying. He knew that he was learning. He knew that he was growing. And then one day, during a prayer meeting, he heard a voice inside him saying, "You have been chosen. You have been called. You have been blessed. You are my son." He was shocked. He couldn't believe what he was hearing. He thought that he was hallucinating. He thought that he was dreaming. But the voice kept coming back. It kept calling him. It kept inviting him. He answered the call. He accepted the invitation. He followed the light. He became a pastor and started his own church. He shared his story with others and inspired them to follow God. He traveled around the world and preached the gospel. He performed miracles and healed the sick. He raised the dead. He cast out demons. He baptized thousands of people. He made disciples. He changed lives. He became a legend. But he never forgot where he came from. He never forgot what he went through. He never forgot why he was chosen. He used his pain to help others. He used his suffering to serve others. He used his scars to remind himself and others that they were not alone. They were never alone. So remember, no matter how hard life gets, no matter how much pain you endure, never give up. Never lose hope. Keep trying. Keep believing. Because God is testing you. God is blessing you. God is loving you. Now here's your reminder. Don't forget to hit the like button if you haven't already, and as always, thank you for watching.